Hi guys, it's Lori. So I'm making part two. I don't know what that blue thing is. It's got to be something to do with the camera. Anyway, part two of changing your story. We talked in part one about how our stories lead to these emotions, lead to these false beliefs, which lead to soul wounds, which lead to what happens when your soul wounds are there and you're unaware of them. Is we actually draw to ourselves that which will give evidence that the soul wound, the false belief, the story is in fact true. So we draw that to ourselves if we're not in awareness of it. So this is just part of opening up that awareness and changing it so then you do not call those things to yourself anymore. Okay, and again, I am not of the belief that it's your perception, it's, writing your story, all of this will make it so that you never, ever, ever face a negative in your life, because we do live in a fallen world. Negatives happen sometimes, but living this way at the highest vibration we can, changing our story, being aware of our soul wounds, healing them, that will lead us to a place where not only can we deal with the struggles that this life has to offer in a place of peace and love and understanding, but will always be authentic, and our authentic self can get closer to God, vibrate a higher frequency, and live the best life possible here in this physical realm until we move on to the next. Okay, that being said, part two, if you haven't watched part one yet, I will put a link to that in the description here. But part two, I want to talk. So in part one, we talked about identifying your story. You can't change it if you can't identify it, right? So identifying your story goes along with the awareness. It actually opens you up. Just by becoming aware, you've already started to change things. So in part two, in our awareness, we are going to start rewriting our script. Okay. What the heck? How do you do that? Well, first of all, you can't change the past. I mean, the past is the past is the past. It's there, it's gone, it's dead. It only lives on in our minds, okay? And in what we've created through it, right? So you can't technically change the past, but you can change your perspective of it, like we did in part one. So we're going to rewrite the script starting from day one. Okay, we're not going to fool ourselves and pretend rewrite the script from, birth and change everything into, fact of the matter is my mother was mentally ill. She was very abusive. I went through many, many years of abuse. My siblings did as well in different ways. My mom had a way of abusing us all differently. It happened. It can't change. I can't change that. Okay. So if I were to rewrite my script as my mother was a lovely person, that's a lie, right? And my subconscious mind is going to look at me and go, "That's a lie." Okay. So don't do that. Don't lie to yourself. Lie. You want to be authentic. Okay. So how do you rewrite your script? I'm going to give you 5 different. I don't want to call them steps. Just 5 different ways. Okay. So first of all, you want to know that you're living in a physical realm, that this realm, know about where you are, know about where you are, the scenery, we'll call it the set, all right? So the set that we're on, where our life is being played out, a lot of it is an illusion. A lot of it is an illusion created by our own energy, our own soul wounds. Like I said, we call to ourselves that which we believe, right? So this is our set. We know how energy works. So if you know the set, if you know how energy works, if you know who your creator is, okay? Number 2, know who your creator is. God is your creator. And so God created the set. God created the actors. He picked out the actors. So what God did basically is put it all together, and then he said, "Here you go, direct," right? So you are not only a director, but you're a co-writer too. You write for the show. We'll put it that way, okay? You're the lead writer. You're the only writer, actually, because God created it. He put it together. Now he's kind of here with you. And he said, "Here you go. You take the reins. You write, you direct, you produce." Okay? So now you're your co-creator, your writer, your director, your producer, okay? So that's number two. You know that. Know that you write the script, okay? How do you write the script? Well, you've gone back, you've identified what's false. Now you want to be authentic. So in writing your script, you want to be like, okay, what do I want to be? So make your goals, make your wants, your needs clear to yourself. You know, so many of us are unclear on what we truly want in life. You know, people say, I want a relationship. Well, what kind of relationship do you want? How do you want that relationship to look? And so many people walk around in loneliness. They're just like, I just want a relationship. And they end up in terrible relationships, you know? I want a job. I want to make money. Really? Is that all you want to do is make money? Or do you want to be productive? Do you want to help people? Do you want to enjoy your job? You know, I want a house. Really? Do you want just any house or do you want your perfect house? You know what I'm saying? So, what do you really want? Be clear. Be clear on how this movie goes, okay? Because you're writing. You're writing. You are also the lead actor or actress, okay? So, if you can put yourself in a I'm acting on set kind of thing, and not only am I acting this part, I'm writing this part, okay? I'm writing this part. So, I am confident. I am smart. I am able to accomplish what I need to accomplish with the creator right here behind me, telling me of things I may not be aware of, that I don't know about the industry. Put it that way, you know. Number three, fire all the non-productive crew. How do you do that? How do you do that? What do you mean, fire all the non-productive crew? First of all, if there's any negative entities or energies around you, bind and rebuke them, get away from them, okay? You want to bring in the positive, the angels, you know, the angelic beings, God. You know what I'm saying? You want to bind and rebuke. That's real serious stuff. I don't mean to joke about that. But you also want to go deep inside your mind and you want to fire all that critical director. You're taking the lead, okay? I am the lead director. Not this critical director that may have been me in the past that's going to sit back and be critical of all my moves. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Think about when you were identifying your story, okay? Maybe it was mom, maybe it was dad, maybe it was your best friend, maybe it was you yourself because of what's happened to you. You've got all these people on set, right? And you're living your life or whatever, and you make a decision, whatever that decision may be. I'll kind of just use me as an example. Okay, so when I was really young, really young, because of all the abuse that I endured, I wanted desperately to have a PhD in psychology and help kids, okay? Then when I got a little older, I ended up getting pregnant, decided I can't do the school thing, and I'm going to be too old by the time I graduate, blah, blah, blah. I made every excuse in the world and chose not to do it. So that side of me, the critical director, was like, well, geez, what a loser you are. Look at, you've always made bad choices. You could have gone to school, but you chose not to. You know, you're not worthy of anything. Why do you want to go stand up to that person? You're not as smart as that person. That person's educated. You know, you've been married more than once. Yeah, see, there's something wrong with you. This is that critical director. Okay, so we have within ourselves. We also have critical directors on the outside that we allow that role. Why'd you give him the job in the first place? First of all, like my husband, okay? My husband knew my vulnerable points and would use them against me. So I allowed him to be director and call out the criticism as well. He would, oh geez, I'm glad that's your dream, Lori, but you really can't do that. You don't have enough knowledge. Or when he tried to put me down as a mother. Oh yeah, I know you love your kids, but you're really not doing that right or that right. Or, he was, now when I look back on it, I allowed him, I hired him, and I never fired him to be a critical director. My mother was a critical director. My grandfather, one time he told me straight out I was ugly and stupid. I was probably 3 years old. He was a critical director because you know why? Every time me sat in the director's chair and put out different critical comments, a lot of times I was listening to his comments in my ear. So I had a lot of critical directors that I allowed to stay there. So now what I'm going to do, whether it's just in my subconscious mind or in reality, and when I say reality, that is reality, but in the physical realm, if there's still people sitting in that director's chair, I'm going to fire them, okay? I'm going to fire them because there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, but hurtful criticism, there's no place for it. Okay, there's not from me to myself, not from me to anybody else, and not from anybody else to me. Okay, so I'm gonna fire the crew. Okay, and I'm gonna replace the crew with angels, with people that are honest and authentic, and if they criticize, they do it out of love, and they're making me aware, they're helping me grow. That's who I'm replacing my crew with. Number 4, I'm also going to place security doors on the set. How do I do that? How do I do that? I do that through my faith, and I do that through my awareness, okay? And number 5, I'm going to learn my role, okay? I am co-creator, I am director, producer, and I'm an actor in this life, okay? So the set can change. It's just a set. The set can change. It's just a set. I'm going to play my role. What's my role today? A YouTube creator. What's my role when I'm with my kids? Mom, and now that they're adults, their friend, their support, their guidance. What's my role when I'm with Riley, Kennedy, or Jackson? I'm Mimi. That's my role. That's what I'm playing. That's who I am. And I'm going to play that role to the best of my ability. When I'm at work, I'm a life coach or a spiritual guide, and I'm going to play that role to the best of my ability. And yeah, if I hear cut and there's a criticism, it's a positive criticism, and that's all I'm going to accept is something that is authentic and real. And yeah, sure, I'm not perfect. Maybe I need to change something, but I'm only going to accept that which says maybe you want to change this, not maybe you need to change you. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? You are still of value, just like when you talk to anybody else. Remember that. You're a person. You're of value. I'm only telling you this to help you. And if your motive is anything different when you're talking to somebody else, if it's, then maybe you should just keep your mouth shut. Okay? So how do we do all this? Rewriting the script. Well, 1 through 5, if you can picture your life as the set, you get the security doors, which is your awareness, and the exercise of opening up to awareness. And I'm going to do another video on the mind and awareness and manifesting and how they work together. Remembering who the ultimate creator is, and then how he handed down the role of co-creator, director, and producer to you, and learn your role. So through all of this, if you want to, you can actually rewrite the script. So today, and you don't have to, but for me, like I said in the last video, for me, writing things down is helpful. Now that you've identified all the negatives and replaced them with positives, what's your script for today? What are you going to go out and do? You can manifest the life that you desire. And I know some of us have been talking and there's some blocks that happen. And sometimes those blocks are spiritual blocks. Sometimes they're within us. If they're within us, we can get rid of them immediately. If they're spiritual blocks, like we've talked about before, some of us, we've talked personally. If the block is from God and he's trying to prevent you from hurting yourself, what you got to do is go back and say, okay, God, is my will matching your will? He'll let you know. If it isn't, then it's probably him trying to block it. If it is, then you probably got a spiritual battle going on. And how do we win every spiritual battle? By checking our motives and making sure our motives are love, unconditional love, agape love, by praying, by standing in faith, and by keeping our vibration high. Okay, all right. That's it for today. I don't want to make it too long. I am going to do one more video today, like I said, about the mind and awareness and how that together can bring about our manifestations quickly. So watch for that. That's Simi. Is it Simi? Nope, that's Boo Boo. But Simi was walking earlier behind there. The cats are all over the place. Doggies too. And like I said before in the last video, I'm on Patreon, but I haven't really set it up yet. And somebody did message me, so I just want to clarify that when I was talking about the $10 monthly donation, and I will give you a monthly forecast. And there's other stuff I can do too. I just got to work it out. I got to sit down and take some time to work it out. That's like an ongoing monthly thing. So I will definitely do a monthly forecast for you if you want it one time only, but I'm talking about like a ongoing monthly membership of $10 each. And I can send you a monthly forecast. And like I said, I'll come up with some other stuff that we can kind of tweak and see what works best. I just feel like this is parts, only of a small part, but this is part of what I'm supposed to do. So anyway, happy acting, but it's not really acting, it's your authentic self. I guess if you know your role, part of, and I don't mean to go back, but I guess I have to. Part of all this, when I say learn your role and look at it as a set, and it goes back to number one, knowing that this world, this physical realm, although it seems very real to us, it really isn't. It is real. I don't want to say it's not real. It is, but it's only temporary. We're only passing through. We're here to learn some things. We're here to bond. We're here to build relationships, learn who we are, and learn who others are, and learn who God is through our relationships. We're here to learn and grow until we move on to the physical, the spiritual realm. Okay, I thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe if you would like to, and join the manifesting group Mondays and Wednesdays if you'd like to. If you'd like to email me, feel free, lorir248@gmail.com. See me on Facebook, facebook.com/GraceByHim1, or Higher Ground 2. And like I said, the $10 thing is a monthly donation. You could give $1. You can give whatever you can, or nothing. Whatever works for you. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.